Have you ever seen repeating numbers, met someone at the perfect moment, or thought of someone just before they call? That's not coincidence. Carl Jung called it synchronicity, a mysterious force that connects our inner world to the outer. In this video, we'll explore how Jung explains synchronicity, why it happens, and how to awaken to these meaningful coincidences in your own life. Stay till the end because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Have you ever had one of those moments that just makes you pause? You think of someone you haven't talked to in years, and suddenly your phone rings. It's them. Or maybe you're struggling with a decision, and out of nowhere, a stranger says something that answers the exact question weighing on your mind. Most people brush that off as a coincidence. A lucky accident, but Carl Jung didn't think so. Jung called this experience synchronicity. He defined it as a meaningful coincidence. Two or more events that are connected not by cause and effect, but by meaning. In other words, there's no logical explanation for why it happened, but it feels significant. This concept completely challenged the Western idea that everything has to be explained by logic or science. Jung believed that life isn't always linear or rational. He said there's a hidden order, something deeper, where our inner world and outer experiences meet. To him, the universe wasn't just made of atoms and logic, it was also made of symbols, stories, emotions, and patterns. And sometimes those things align in such a way that it feels like the universe is speaking directly to you. For Jung, synchronicity wasn't magic, it was psychology. He believed that your unconscious mind, the part of you that holds your hidden desires, fears, and instincts, can connect with the world around you in mysterious ways. When something inside you is trying to get your attention, it doesn't always show up in thoughts. It can show up in events, things you experience externally. Here's the key. A synchronistic event becomes meaningful only to you. The person next to you might not even notice it, but for you, it lands like lightning. Think of it like a dream happening in real life. Let's say you're thinking about changing careers, but you're scared. You're unsure. Then you overhear a stranger on the bus say something like, "Sometimes you just have to take the leap. You never know where it'll lead." They're not talking to you, but you feel like the message was meant for you. That's synchronicity. Carl Jung believed these moments are signals from the unconscious, nudges from your deeper self, or even the collective unconscious. They happen to wake you up, to guide you, to remind you that you're not lost. You're in a story, and you're being shown the next chapter. The more you become aware of your inner world, your emotions, your fears, your intuition, the more you start noticing these coincidences, and the more you see them, the more you realize they were always there. You just weren't listening. Synchronicity is a call to remember. Life isn't random, it's a dialogue between your soul and the universe. Are you paying attention? So, if synchronicity is real, why does science often ignore it? That's because traditional science relies on things that can be measured, things with clear causes and effects. If you can't reproduce it in a lab or put it into a formula, it's usually dismissed. But Jung wasn't trying to replace science. He was trying to complete it. He believed that humans are more than just biology and logic. We are stories, emotions, dreams. We carry centuries of inherited symbols in our unconscious minds. And sometimes the deeper parts of us speak not in data, but in patterns, feelings, and symbols. That's where synchronicity lives. To explore this mystery further, Jung teamed up with none other than Wolfgang Pauli. One of the founding fathers of quantum physics, Pauli, too, was fascinated by patterns in the universe that couldn't be explained by traditional physics alone. Together, Jung and Pauli started asking a radical question. What if the psyche and matter aren't two separate things? What if they're two sides of the same deeper reality? Think of it like this. Imagine you're dreaming. Everything feels real: colors, sounds, people. Then you wake up and realize it was all a product of your inner world. Now imagine waking life isn't so different. Jung believed that both the internal world of dreams and the external world of events are expressions of something deeper, what he called the collective unconscious. This is a vast shared realm of archetypes and symbols that connects every human being at a subconscious level. In this view, synchronicity isn't a glitch, it's a message. It's the unconscious speaking through the outer world, like a dream breaking into reality. Let's say you keep seeing butterflies everywhere. On the street, in books, in your dreams. To someone else, it's just a butterfly, but to you, it feels like something more. In Jungian psychology, the butterfly is a symbol of transformation. So maybe your unconscious is trying to tell you you're ready to evolve. You're ready to let go of something old and become something new. Science may not be able to explain why you saw those butterflies, but your soul understands Jung's message wasn't anti-science. It was pro-wholeness. He believed we're made of both reason and mystery, and when we deny the mysterious side, the soul, we lose something vital. We stop noticing the signs, we stop trusting our inner compass, and we begin to believe we're alone in a cold, random world. But synchronicity reminds us, you're not alone. You're connected. Not everything meaningful needs proof. Some things just need presence. So, when do these mysterious synchronicities actually happen? Carl Jung observed something fascinating. Synchronicities don't just appear randomly. They tend to show up during intense emotional experiences, when your inner world is in a state of upheaval, growth, or deep questioning. He noticed they often occur during moments of crisis, transition, or spiritual awakening. Think about it. You're going through heartbreak. You feel completely lost. You don't know who you are anymore. And suddenly you come across a book, a quote, or a stranger that says something that hits your soul. It feels like it was placed in your path on purpose. That's synchronicity. It's as if the universe is responding to your psychic energy, your thoughts, your feelings, your longing for meaning. Jung believed that the more tension there is in your unconscious, the more likely it is to express itself not just through dreams or emotions, but through real-world events. In other words, when something inside you wants to be seen, the outside world starts reflecting it back to you. Here's a key point Jung made. Your unconscious doesn't speak in words. It speaks in symbols, images, and experiences. So when you're stuck or in pain, your unconscious might not give you a sentence. It gives you a sign. A lost object suddenly reappears. A person you haven't seen in years shows up at just the right time. You hear the same message from 3 unrelated sources. These moments are winks from the universe. But more importantly, they're echoes of your own inner truth, bouncing back at you through life itself. Jung also noticed that synchronicities often happen when we are beginning to integrate our shadow, the hidden parts of ourselves we usually repress. When we become more self-aware and start the journey of individuation, these coincidences become more frequent. Why? Because you're finally aligning your outer life with your inner reality. It's like tuning a radio. When the signal is scattered, you get static. But when you're aligned, mind, heart, and soul, your frequency matches the frequency of life. And that's when synchronicity occurs. It's not just about magic, it's about alignment. Think of synchronicity as your life's compass. It points toward what needs your attention. It guides you back to your path when you're straying too far. It reminds you that something bigger is at work, even if you don't understand it yet. So the next time you experience a coincidence that makes your heart stop, don't dismiss it. Ask yourself, what's going on inside me right now? What is life trying to tell me? Because chances are it's more than coincidence, it's connection. So far, we've seen that synchronicity isn't just about luck, it's about alignment between your inner world and the outer one. But here's a powerful question. Can you invite more synchronicity into your life? Carl Jung believed yes, you can, but not by forcing or chasing it. Instead, synchronicity increases when you become more conscious. Here are 4 practical ways to begin inviting synchronicity into your everyday life. 1. Slow down and pay attention. Most of us rush through life, distracted, always scrolling, thinking, or multitasking. In that noisy state, we miss the subtle messages trying to reach us. Synchronicity is quiet, it whispers, it requires space. When you slow down, take walks without your phone, sit in silence, or practice mindful observation. You create room for those moments to emerge. You start to notice the unusual conversation at the coffee shop or the book that practically jumps off the shelf. These aren't random. They're signals to track and journal. Your coincidences, start keeping a synchronicity journal. Every time you notice a strange coincidence or something meaningful that shows up unexpectedly, write it down. What were you thinking or feeling before it happened? What decision were you struggling with? What inner question did it seem to answer? You'll be amazed to see patterns forming. What looked like isolated events start to feel connected. And the more you document them, the more they begin to show up. Why? Because your awareness expands. 3. Pay attention to dreams and symbols. Jung said the dream is the small hidden door in the deepest and most intimate sanctum of the soul. Your dreams are a direct portal to your unconscious, and they often contain the same archetypes and symbols that show up in your synchronistic moments. The snake in your dream might appear as a real-life fear the next day. The recurring number or color might point to something unresolved in your psyche. Keep a dream journal. Look for recurring symbols. Don't try to force meaning, just stay curious. The connection will often appear later when you least expect it. 4. Set clear intentions, but let go of control. Synchronicity often begins with intention, not from desperation, but from clarity. Ask yourself, what do I truly want to align with? What part of me is ready to be seen, healed, or transformed? Set that intention silently or in writing. Then let go. Don't obsess over outcomes. Synchronicity works best when you're open, not when you're clinging. In the end, synchronicity is a kind of spiritual language, a bridge between your soul and the world. And the more fluent you become in your inner truth, the more life begins to speak that truth back to you. Synchronicity is not just something that happens to you, it's something that responds to who you're becoming, so become present. Become open and watch what unfolds. What if nothing in your life is truly random? What if the very things you once brushed off as coincidence were actually invitations, whispers from a deeper order that's been trying to guide you all along? This is the heart of Carl Jung's teaching on synchronicity. He didn't just offer a psychological concept, he offered a new way of seeing, a way of living. Because when you understand synchronicity, the world transforms. You begin to see meaning where others see chance. You begin to trust timing instead of fighting it. You realize you're not walking alone. You're participating in a story, an unfolding mystery between your soul and the fabric of the universe. It's easy to think we're separate, to believe life is just a series of unrelated events. But synchronicity cracks that illusion. It reminds us that everything is connected: our thoughts, our emotions, our dreams, and the events that unfold around us. Not in a mechanical way, but in a symbolic, spiritual way. Jung's message is not that we must control life, it's that we must listen to it. Synchronicity is life's way of saying, you are exactly where you need to be. Keep going. You're not lost, you're being guided. So the next time something strange and meaningful happens, pause. Don't just say, that was weird. Ask, what is life trying to show me right now? Because sometimes a door doesn't open with logic. It opens with awareness. If this video spoke to you, if it made you think of moments you've experienced but couldn't explain, that's not a coincidence either. That's synchronicity. Because maybe you were meant to hear this today. Maybe life wanted to remind you you are seen, you are connected, you are becoming subscribed to Psyche. Awaken for more videos on Jungian psychology, inner healing, and conscious living. Leave a comment and tell us, what's the most powerful synchronicity you've ever experienced? Don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss a sign from the universe again.